Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. Welcome to Marathon Week number 2. And we are starting the big 2 up this week with DC Comics. This video is for the comics that came out of DC Comics, released on July 30th, 2014.
The last week of July.
The last week of July and the 5th week of July, meaning all comic, and ironically, all comic companies give less books on the 5th week of the month. So ironically, we have 7 DC and 7 Marvel. So we're starting with DC and we're going to end in the next video with Marvel. And you guys just saw the indie review. And the indie review is from last week though, so this is starting this week. So let's start off with the digital first books. And we have Adventures of Superman issue number 15. In my opinion, the definitive Superman comic book for those of you who are fans of the true, if you want to keep the
Tradition?
Not tradition either. I love how I just legacy of Superman. That's what this book follows. And in this book, a robot comes to Earth, crashes on Earth, and it was created by Jor-El, but all it wants to do is destroy. And Superman's like, my father would never do that. I'll give you guys some artwork. My father would never create something that would do such a thing. Here's the robot. I'll show you guys the robot in this page. And then in the middle of the fight, Superman knocks something off the robot, and the robot kind of snaps out of it and says he was being controlled. He was originally supposed to be an observer or what was it? Explorer. He was an exploratory probe. He was attacked by an armada, and the Vendai changed him into a herald, so to speak. The Vendai attack. Superman fights them off, of course. The robot helps, but the Vendai had like this little bomb thing implanted in him. So the robot dies, and the reaction from Superman is actually very legitimate and really, really good. Artwork in this book was really good. Dialogue, I'm not telling you guys. You got to read the book for yourself. But the artwork, like I said, really, really good. I'm really upset to see this book go. Like I said, this is the last week of July, so we have August. And I believe we have September, and then the books for Adventures of Superman will be stopping. But we're getting Sensational Wonder Woman, which I probably will try until Wonder Woman changes hands or changes creative teams, and then I'll be checking that out too. But it's sad to see this go. It's obvious they're not relaunching it at least a month later. So hopefully at some point we'll get another definitive legacy following Superman comic, digital first book at some point, maybe. I don't know. I'm hoping maybe at some point soon. Now, normally I review the specials for Smallville.
Yes.
But this one has both of Michael's characters from Justice League Dark, and also just to note, this is going to be the last special I buy. Maybe Michael will buy them because it doesn't involve Superman. So there's no point in me reading it.
Superman, then why even bother getting it?
I don't know. Every special, all 5 specials. This is issue number 5, by the way.
Thank you. I was going to say.
Well, go ahead, say what it is, so
Smallville Season 11 Special Harbinger issue number 5.
Right, and this is focusing solely on John Constantine and Zatanna. Right. No Superman. All previous specials focused on other characters. The one before this was, however, well, this has Wonder Woman in it too, but the one before this, however, had Lex Luthor, so it was interesting. But characters that are side characters without putting Superman in it doesn't interest me.
Yeah, so basically, it starts off where Zatanna does a show and everything using magic, and of course, you know how people say, "Oh, I don't believe in magic" and stuff like that. And Zatanna shows them. By the way, here's some artwork. And this side of Zatanna is very different than Justice League Dark because I never thought that she would, do that to people and everything. But what she wants her mission is to find her father's book. And then she comes face to face with some guy that's in the name of Brother Blood or something. I believe it's in the beginning or something. Well, they're in London. Just wanted to point that out there where this is taking place. And John Constantine comes in.
Of course.
And to be honest, the way that they introduced both of them in here was not like they did in Justice League Dark issue 0. This is totally different, but that's because it's in a Smallville universe. In that sense. So this guy who does magic with his hands, he breaks out of the police car, and the guy that's Part of Blood wants a word with him and everything, and you know, it's just really just both John Constantine and Zatanna trying to find her father's book, but John Constantine knows Zatanna's father more than she thinks that he does know, if that even makes sense. So they both have their, you know, differences, like, you know, going against each other, and then you know, and then we get the leader of Brother Blood, who focuses on the whole Trigon and yada yada yada, sends the regards and all that stuff, while Zatanna brings up all the regrets of John Constantine, who he's killed in that sense of that. So basically their mission is just to try to get the book, which is what basically all the stuff is about. And they work together as a team to go up against Brother Blood and the Sons of Trigon, that was from Brother Blood. And basically that's the whole book. Like, John Constantine...
And we get a little look at the Teen Titans, so it is nice to see Superboy.
Yeah. And by the way, he was going to leave with the book, but then in the end of the book, he gives it to
oh, we get introduced
Zatanna.
to Raven.
And yeah, and this is the introduction. I really love the artwork.
I would love to see a
by the way.
focus on the Teen Titans again for a special. I think I would buy that up.
And I like how when Zatanna says, "How do you know there will be a next time?" And it gives like that feeling that you know that there might be a next time, but who knows. But it's not like your Justice League Dark comic book. I will point that out. But it's something good to read and something to pick up for those of you who know of Justice League Dark or John Constantine like I do. But if Smallville comics don't have Superman in it, then it's a no-go for me, because...
That's the point of Smallville.
Well, that's the point of Smallville, but there is no Superman, by the way. But there were Teen Titans, like I said.
So we got 2 Lantern books this week. We're going to do the non-special, or the non-annual, I should say first. Sinestro, issue number 4. Sinestro is going up against the... oh god, I forgot the name of these people already. That proves how important they are. The... first you get some internal dialogue about what's been going on thus far, but anyway you get into... the Inquisition, the Pale Bishops. Basically, they have no emotion, and they're fighting against all the emotions, all the emotional spectrum in the universe. Stop me if you've heard this before. So the whole beginning of the book is the fight between Sinestro and the Pale Bishops. They try to, what they're doing is, how they strip the lanterns of their emotions are, they feed them back their own emotions. So they try to feed Sinestro back his own fear, but of course Sinestro fights against it. We find out what the weakness of the Pale Bishops are. Sorry, I got something in my throat. Read this book to find out what it is. Sinestro frees all the worshippers of the Pale Bishop, and of course he destroys the Pale Bishops. And then to get his people, the Pale Bishop showed up as he was saving his people, so he told Saranic to take the people somewhere safe. And she did. That was with Hal Jordan.
Oh.
And this is the last page, so if you're looking for this in this book, you're not going to get it. The next issue, however, you will be getting Green Lantern and Sinestro, so Hal Jordan's going to know that Sinestro is now still out there. He's going to find Sinestro. So it's going to be an interesting reunion, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
The book was really good. The internal dialogue, his internal dialogue was very interesting. Not good or bad, interesting. The book itself, though, was high action-packed, really, really good, and there are still some Pale Bishops I feel out there. I don't think this was the entire Pale Bishop group, because that would be kind of pointless. I mean, this is issue 4, and already they've gotten through their first big baddie. That wouldn't be right.
That wouldn't be.
Red Lanterns Annual number 1.
There's the annuals.
Atrocitus is now on Earth, and the war between Guy Gardner and Atrocitus begins. Atrocitus releases every single Red Lantern ring he has on Earth and anoints an entirely humongous group of human Red Lanterns. Wow. And here's a good picture of all the rings that he's sending to Earth. Wow. Guy Gardner is trying to stop him. Supergirl makes a guest star appearance in this book, and helps out Guy Gardner. So does Batman. The one punch joke is
Wait, I thought Supergirl
brought-
gave up her power with Red Lantern. Or was this before?
before.
It was before?
This is after Supergirl breaks free of the Red Lantern ring. After. She's now Supergirl
this was
again.
okay. Now that makes sense. It didn't make sense at first. That's why I asked.
And Skylox is still on Atrocitus' side. He's still working for him. We find out that Rancor was pretending to be crazy, but there's a little twist to Rancor, and I'm not going to spoil that for you guys. You're going to have to find out in this book, but there is a twist to Rancor. A Red Lantern does die in this book from Guy Gardner's side. I'm not going to spoil that either. You're going to have to find out next time. But let's just say the war between Guy Gardner and his group of Red Lanterns is about to conclude with Atrocitus and his group of Red Lanterns.
Lots of rage.
Oh yeah. So it all is going to conclude in Red Lanterns issue number 34. So the last part to Atrocitus versus Guy Gardner will be in this month, August, Red Lanterns 34. I'm looking forward to it. Lots of awesome action, lots of good dialogue, lots of awesome twists, and a sad death actually to one of the characters, because I grown close to a lot of the Red Lanterns from Guy Gardner's side, the veteran Lanterns. So it was a sad ending, but you know, you don't know if he's dead. Maybe he survived somehow.
It's a possibility.
Really good book. I would definitely recommend it. Now, before we get into the weeklies, Justice League issue 32 focuses mostly on the Doom Patrol. How the Doom Patrol found Element Girl, the chief, so to speak. I forgot his full name. What was his name? Dr. Calder. I'll call him that. Who's the leader of the Doom Patrol. He's a jerk, by the way. All he wants is what he wants, and he says, well, we'll get to that. He introduces Element Woman to everybody in the Doom Patrol, and then we jump back to the present where it's the Doom Patrol versus Jessica Cruz's Power Ring. And their purpose, what he wants them to do, is get that ring back at all costs necessary. He even tries to kill her at some point to get the ring, and Element Girl kind of stops him and says no, and then there's a building on fire, and the Doom Patrol wants to help, but Dr. Calder says, no, I gave you your lives back, and I can take them away. You do what I want, and I want that ring. So, but the Justice League shows up, thank God, because this is a Justice League book. I mean, it'd be crazy if they didn't. And they end up saving the day, but they have no idea who the Doom Patrol is. Get a little bit of development with Captain Cold and Lex Luthor. And after the Justice League saves everybody from the burning building, it's everybody versus Power Ring. Cyborg connects to the ring, and the ring explains what's to come, so to speak. And the reason I'm giving a little bit more of a spoiler for this book is, if you look at the images on this page, a lot of it looks like the stuff that we got in Crisis on Infinite Earths, where the Earths are being erased, the shadow people from Crisis, and basically Superwoman, who we get literally on the first couple of pages singing to her baby, because she's still pregnant and she's still on Earth 1, why I have no idea. Her baby is apparently the key or something to bringing the being that destroyed other Earths to the DC universe. Powering powers down. I'm leaving the last page for you guys to check out, because this book was really good. I'm really enjoying Jeff Johns' Justice League. I have something in my eye and it's really driving me crazy because I'm blinking and I see, like, I'll figure it out after the review. But really good book. I would definitely recommend it. I'm really enjoying Justice League. It has, with Lex Luthor trying to play good guy again, I feel like this is Action Comics all over again in a way, where he was trying to recreate the Orange Lantern power that he got right after Blackest Night. So I like that Lex Luthor's a spotlight. I just don't like him as a full-blown good guy all the time, and I know that it's really eating at Superman little bits at a time.
Yep.
We're now on the weeklies, and there's a reason why Batman Eternal 17 goes first. I could care less about half the stuff in this book. It's, again, focusing on Arkham Asylum and what's going on with Batwing. Don't care. Trying so hard to care, but don't care. And there's a flashback to a couple of years ago where it was Batman versus Priest, and it's like, okay, alright, I'll bite. Why not? 3 years ago, and Deacon Blackflower. That's the person. The only interesting part was when you jump to Red Robin and Harper in Tokyo confronting Sergei Alexandrov, who basically designed the nano virus that's going around Gotham, but he's not the one that released it in Gotham. Somebody stole his technology and is using it. And Red Robin says, you're still accountable for it. We're taking you back to Gotham, and you're going to help fix this. The rest of the book is all... Oh, no, there was one good part in this book. I'm sorry, with Alfred and his daughter, where she's saying, you were a war... You know, you went through a war, and now all you... Like, she's very embarrassed that her father's a butler. She's like, you're a war veteran. You're a war hero. And now you're playing second fiddle. You're basically Bruce Wayne's party toy or his accessory. Where's his... Basically, she says, where's your fire? Where's your fight? And then it goes back to Deacon Blackfire and how Batman escaped him and Batman embarrassed him. And basically, this is all connected to Arkham Asylum. And... I don't know. I'm just not interested in the Spectre. I'm not interested in Arkham Asylum. He's the one that reads most of the magical side.
Well, I wasn't really a fan of Spectre either when he appeared in Phantom Stranger and Constantine.
Yeah, the artwork's really good. There's no Batman in this book. There's no Inspector Gordon. It's been a couple of issues already in this book. No Batgirl. No Batman, except for the flashbacks. So, it's okay. I can't wait for them to get through this whole... Spectre and Arkham Asylum thing, because I have no care for Arkham Asylum. I feel like this is kind of filler to get the story to be 52 issues. So, New 52 Futures End issue 13. Really nothing got accomplished here either. You have Tim, or Cal as he calls himself now. His bar gets robbed. I mean, it opens up with the robbery. He doesn't fight the robber. He basically just gives him all the money. The robber steals the necklace that he gave Maddie. Thank you, Maddie. So many names to memorize nowadays.
I hear you.
Mr. Terrific is having second thoughts about what he did in the previous issue, calling Batman out, and he's worried about what technology this Batman brought with him. We get a little bit more insight on Cadmus with Grifter and the girl whose name always leaves me for some reason. They're trying to figure out about the invisible Olmec because Cadmus doesn't have any invisible Olmecs. Then we get to see Dick Grayson, because that's who I'm predicting is this person, because we see him on the cover too, and it's the exact same cover as Nightwing #1. He basically beats up the guy that held up Tim Drake's, or Cal's bar, and he gets the necklace back from the robber, and apparently he's going to give it back to Cal or Tim, and Tim will give it back to his girlfriend, or I don't know, but I know that has to be Dick Grayson. Then Terry gets double-crossed by the crooks that are going to break into T-Tech with him. And then we get a little bit insight on Big Barda and, what's her name? Emiko. And the last page I'm going to leave off for you, but let's just say they're met with an offer they can't refuse at the end. And it's all thanks to the little girl. So they get captured. By whom? Find out after you read this book. Future's End was a little bit better than Batman Eternal just because I don't care about what's going on with the Joker's daughter and Arkham Asylum and Batwing. No. So I really could care less. So that's kind of why Future's End got a little bit more of a higher or a final book of the week from DC for me, because I just don't care about what's going on with Batman Eternal with the whole Arkham Asylum thing right now. Yep. I want to focus more on what's going on with Batman and Gotham. I understand there's 52 issues, so there's still a lot to go. But at the same time, this particular part of the Batman Eternal story, I don't really have a care for. My preference. I'm sure somebody out there is really enjoying this part of the Batman Eternal story arc. For me, no. So that's it for DC, guys. Don't forget to check out comic-related Comic Frontline and Zone4Podcast.com. We have your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Feel free to comment below your likes, dislikes, Whether you agree or disagree with anything we said on any of the books here, recommendations, questions, we'd love to hear your guys' comments, and your comments will be heard and replied to on this Friday's weekly comic book haul. So until then, guys, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you guys in the next review.
Hey, everybody.